then. She just became mute.
Either way, she became mute. I was right. Suck it.
Shut up.
I am a doctor. If you see me and you're like sick,
Are you
I'm just gonna
okay,
guess.
people are right now watching over all the in momentums. Do you want them to get that you're an asshole when you're right?
What was it, Mom? I kicked ass in that game. Don't you fuck with me. I will challenge any one of you to a race.
Yeah, well, you know what? Halfway through the first set of recordings, you just kind of cut your camera and you talk about whatever.
Well, I'm sorry, but the game fucked up.
No, it didn't. It was you.
I still beat your ass.
I think you just pushed the button to start recording when you were going. Anyway, dear diary.
Yeah.
Everything managed to spiral out of control so quickly today. I wasn't planning on it happening this way, but here's the point where I make my stand, I guess. It sounds dramatic, but I don't just let them marry me off to some stranger. I won't let them. Just before dinner yesterday, Mother told me that I had to go down to go do an interview with some man, the Emperor, I guess, for all I care. The way she put it was, I'd get a chance to see that he's a man you could fall in love with, or something stupid like that, as if, I said in response. And I spent the rest of the evening thinking about what I could possibly do to make it clear I wouldn't let them do this. This morning after breakfast, sister-in-law showed up in my room. "Good morning," she said. "Today is a big day for you, isn't it? Mother-in-law wanted me to help you get dressed and all made up. You'll want to make a good first impression after all." I glared at her and summoned up all my courage. "No," I said. "What?" she asked. "No, I'm not going." She left, and then Mother came in. This was it. I told myself, this was the big moment. "I'm not going," I said before she could say anything. "I'm not going to get dressed up. I'm not going to meet him, and I'm definitely not going to be married," I shouted. For a moment, she said nothing and didn't move. Then she left, too, without saying a word. I thought that would feel good, but it didn't. It just made me worry more. I couldn't possibly have won that easily, I thought. And I hadn't, of course. After a few minutes, she returned with Father, who looked incredibly angry. "Ming Young says you're refusing to get ready for your interview," he said. "Yeah," I stammered, not used to talking to him. I won't go, and I won't get married." He walked over in just 2 strides, and then glared at me for a second. I had no idea what he was going to do. Then he slapped me in the face so hard that it knocked me over. "Yes, you will," he said. "I'll drag you there, kicking and screaming if I have to." My face in so much pain, I forced myself to sit back up. "I won't," I said, bracing myself for him to hit me again. He did. "Yes, you will," he said. I couldn't keep this up. It already hurt so much I couldn't just brave that out. Then it came to me. "If you make me do the interview," I said, "I'll tell the Emperor that you've been conspiring behind his back." It was all I could think of, and all I could do was cross my fingers and hope that the threat worked. It had to. He glared at me, and in that moment I knew it worked. The two of them looked at each other, and then they both left together. That was 3 hours ago. I don't know what's going to happen now, and I think my face is swollen. It still hurts. I didn't want it to go that way, so that's me, making my stand. Alright. Okay. Well, maybe he did have a plan to overthrow the Emperor? Maybe he did. We don't know. Like he had something behind his back, ready to stab the Emperor with. I'll get to that. But for now, please just look at everyone else's first. Alright. You still there, LG?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Alright, let's do one more Hao Ming Young, and then we'll do Young Seok's wife, and then Hao Ming Young. Alright?
Alright.
Alright. The Pale Bride picked the worst of all possible days to throw another one of her childish fists, refusing to even get dressed for her interview, and this one was with the Emperor himself. Not even my husband was able to get her to listen. He had to personally apologize himself for not being able to bring her as scheduled, and lied about a sudden illness. You have to do something about her, I said to my husband that evening. She's completely out of control. I know, he said, and that is quite clear. He looked so worried. I hugged him and tried to comfort him. Everything would fall apart if something couldn't be done. She threatened to say something stupid and dangerous to the Emperor, and we were both scared that she might. Maybe it's time to consider doing something drastic, I said to him. He nodded. I know, he said. I can only think of one idea, and I do not like it. I would rather not. Even hitting her was far worse than I would have wanted. He explained his idea to me. He explained his idea to me and agreed that it was terrible. And I didn't like it either, but it would stop her from arguing, stop her from ruining her own life. My husband was, as always, right. There was only one way. Could you not cheer with my dad in the background? I'd rather just ignore that it's there, especially when I just read what I read.
Sorry.
Were you paying attention?
I sort of was.
No, you
But
weren't.
then the screaming in the background.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what did we just read?
Let's just keep going, come on.
No, you don't know what we just read. You're a jerk, LG, Jesus. No, seriously. Your turn to read.
Okay. Today the Pale Bride...
No.
Ah, fine. Dearest Mother, today the Pale Bride...
No.
What?
Batman.
Ah! It's 3 pages of it! That shit hurts!
Dearest Mother.
No, read this 1 page and then tell me how long it takes for you to become lightheaded.
Alright. Dearest Mother, today the Pale Bride is finally come home and left with her new husband. What?
I said read the entire page.
No, I'm not doing it.
Fine, but I'm not doing the Batman
Just
voice.
read it. Read it.
Alright. Dearest Mother, today the Pale Bride finally left home to live with her new husband. As she isn't a primary wife, there was no fanfare or ceremony for her departure itself. So instead, last night we had a big special feast to commemorate. I know I have said bad things about her before, but it's not just that I was happy to see her gone. He's been better since mother and father-in-law managed to get her to keep quiet. The thought of it still leaves me really uncomfortable. She was always just a confused child. I hate the fact that the family considers her so important and neglects my husband, and I certainly hate her for not appreciating that status and fighting it. The fact that she doesn't understand the world, I can feel for that. It's not like I always understand myself. Regardless, it was very well.
It went.
It went very well. The big feast was my idea, and she was happy to help with the cooking. Earlier, she had spent the afternoon getting ready the dress she was going to wear when she arrived with mother-in-law, and she seemed rather anxious about it. While we cooked, I opened the wine early and poured it for her. I think she needed it. They're giving her underage drinks. I told her
she's about to be married.
Doesn't matter.
She was also like 16 when she was raped by this 40-year-old man. Not raped, but you know what I mean.
He fucked.
I guess it's statutory.
I don't know. I told her the same story I told you a while ago, about how scared I was when I first moved in. It seems as though it was a lifetime ago, and yet, despite all the strangeness, I have grown so accustomed to it. You'll eventually grow to love him. I promised her, just as he promised me all those years ago. Appreciate how good you'll have it.
So I'm a bit curious what they did to make her suddenly calm the fuck down.
They cloned her and threw the real one at the window.
Peace at last. Recently, the Pale Bride's temperament has improved immensely. It isn't simply that she's now quiet, it's that she's actually respectful and calmer. After rescheduling, she had an interview with the Emperor, and he was actually quite charmed with her. I'm just so happy for her own sake that she's finally stopped resisting marriage. It's all coming together now. The date has been set for when she'll be sent to live with him. And in the meanwhile, things at home have been peaceful again for everyone. Actually, it's better than just that. I've been spending more time with her, and of her own free will, I've been giving her advice for coping with the marriage. And now the girl actually listens politely. Otherwise, there's little else to write about. I wish there had been a better way to get her to behave, but in the end, it seems to be working out. I still can't imagine how awful it would be if she refused to even leave the home and simply made life hell for us. Or worse, if she got sent off and tried to pull any of that on her husband, she'd get sent back for sure. Maybe now things will finally start to come together for the family. I must admit it, for a time I doubted the optimism that Zhong-Su expressed in the 319th year, but now it seems that he was right all along. What a relief.
Huh.
Alright, Hyunei wants to speak with us. You've read almost everything now. I know you've had faith in me, and I promise, it hasn't been misplaced. There's just one more thing. I don't think you'll be surprised. You seem smart. I'm sure you've already guessed what it is. Still, go ahead. Ask it. Ask me the obvious question.
Number 9. Number 9.
No, we already asked her what you did.
Oh.
She already answered that, didn't she?
No.
Yeah.
She kept telling us to decrypt all that shit.
Well, yeah, but she ended up telling us that she turned off life support and killed everyone.
Whatever.
And why she did it.
Alright, let's just keep going.
I don't know where you're getting at, but that's not what I meant. The obvious one. The one you wanted to know. Oh. Oh, so she won't let us do that. Fine being that way, Hyunei. The obvious question I wanted to know. So it's under Mute's questions, right? But she already answered this, so I don't see why I have to ask it again. Why did I kill them? Here. You want to know what could make me look at my father's face and be filled with so much hatred? You want to know how I could possibly think my whole family deserved to die? If you haven't already guessed, here's my last diary entry. I can't say it myself. I can't bring myself to, even now. Please.
Read it.
Just read it.
Oh.
Could you not do it that way?
No.
Could you not?
No.
Could you not do that? Like, this is all serious here, LG. We're about to fucking find out why. Even though I swear she gave us her last data entry already.
Keep saying that, I told you.
Okay, well, I guess... Well, you know what? She was always saying, like, How Ming-sung, after what she did to me, I can never forgive her. I'm just like, well, calm down. I haven't seen anything that bad. So I guess now, here's the point where I'm gonna feel really bad.
Mont.
I'm kind of anxious. I don't really want to click this.
Wait, Mont, what if they fucked up with vocal cords?
Oh. That's,
Some deep shit there, man.
Well, let's find out, I guess. Now I can't not click.